You know, Kylo, real good boys know that they have to be good to the planet, which is why we drink Fiji water. Since 2022, Fiji water's 330 milliliter and 500 milliliter bottles have been produced in 100% recycled plastic.
That's hot.
You know what's even hotter? The aquifer Fiji water originates from is a sustainable source and will continue to replenish as the rain and water cycle persists in the islands of Fiji.
No, but really, that is hot.
It is. Visit your local retailer to pick up some Fiji water today and give yourself a Good Boy Gold Star for helping protect our planet. After all, Fiji water is Earth's finest water.
So we exist as this like all-encompassing version of every decision that we make.
Yeah. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of which came before you. I don't know the full thing.
Are we gonna diss Kamala on this podcast? Is Kamala a good boy or a bad boy?
Is quoting her? She's a cop. I'm so. Welcome to Good Boys.
Welcome to Good Boys.
The very first episode.
The sexiest of the Good Boys.
No bad boys here yet.
Well, we'll see.
Well,
we'll see.
Who's on this podcast?
Who is on this podcast? I know a guy, trans guy, called Motti. This is Motti. Motti, he is an influential content creator, influencing the masses, but not with product. Motti's also a comedian and an incredible employee for them.
Thank you so much, Kylo.
So welcome.
And Kylo here, they.
Thank you.
Which maybe one day I'll get to. Another trans guy. I like that we say trans guy and not trans man, because maybe that's too scary right now. Kylo, amazing CEO, founder, actor, entrepreneur, pronounced that way specifically. And just like CEO and founder for them.
I realize now in my Instagram name it says trans non-binary. That's also for the same reason, because I'm scared.
Because you're scared.
Because I'm terrified.
I still feel like connected to like trans non-binary still.
Me too.
Because I've got the they them in there, and I like a little bit of the wiggle room it allows.
Totally. I also just feel very fluid as a person, but then you can be fluid as a trans guy.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still like a trans guy lesbian.
Okay.
I'm really not ready to let go of lesbian.
Yeah. Dyke is.
Dyke.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Dyke is the word. Dyke March.
Dyke March.
Dyke March. Did you go?
I went to the Dyke March, but I didn't march in the Dyke March.
Okay.
Did you?
I did this like beautiful in and out. I would like stand by the side, cheer people on, look at the signs, dip in, march. You know.
How was it? How were the vibes?
The vibes. Listen, I love the Dyke March. It was rightly so. It was heavy, right? It was like a protest. It was a protest for Palestine, which is so important. I felt so and I was so glad to be there, but I felt so heavy. I mean, the Dykes are always going to do it. It's so important to get out there and do that, you know. Maybe. Pride is a protest.
Pride is a protest.
You know, which I've always known, but I feel like this year it was really at the forefront for me. You know, did you find that?
I did find that, yeah. Yeah, like a protest in many ways for Palestine, and also like a lot of like the like masking and making sure everything's COVID safe as well. And yeah, but I also found that it was celebratory as well. I was able to strike a balance.
Cool.
Were you able to, or did you feel like it was kind of all?
I struggled to strike a balance, but also I went to this amazing Pride Live, which is this amazing nonprofit focused on queer folks. They essentially did like launch this like Stonewall National Monument, and I was lucky enough to go to the opening of that. And there was amazing speakers, you know, people that were actually at the inception of Pride at Stonewall, talking about, you know, how devastating it was, how terrifying it was, and how far we've come. And so Katy Perry was there, who's not gay, but she was doing her thing. Yeah. And Elton John sang, and I just
Elton John I'm excited for. Everyone else not so much.
Elton was unbelievable. I just sobbed and sobbed. I called my mom. I don't think I was supposed to. Sorry. I called my mom halfway through so she could listen. I thought it was like a pivotal moment.
Oh, that's so nice.
But it was such a protest, and was so emotional, and so, you know, celebratory by the end of it. And you can go in, like any queer person can go in and record their story. Yeah. Which is really amazing. So I think because I started Pride with that event, it then catapulted me into this idea of like, this is so important. I've really got to like think about our ancestors and think about, you know, where we came from and what we've been through, you know?
Yeah. I think a lot of that stuff can get like washed down a little bit when like so many like orgs and money's in it. But I think what I think is really cool, and Drew covered this for autostraddle.com, that like kids, when they go on like school field trips to the city now, will like have that to go to, like 100%. As kind of like part of like an educational trip, which I think is really really cool, especially when we're considering that the Department of Education might not exist in a couple of years. But I think that's like the really cool thing.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I think they're trying to make it like a federal holiday.
Oh, cool.
Stonewall Day.
Yeah.
Which would be dope.
Yeah.
You know?
That's sick.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, celebratory. Mine was a little less like concrete celebratory. I partied a little bit, which is like partying with like my gay and trans friends. Like that's
100%
super fun. I danced a lot.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you a dancer?
Not well. No. I kind of dance. Britt's a fantastic dancer.
I bet.
To the point where like the next day our friends were like, "Damn, Britt really knows how to tear up the dance floor, right?" And I'm just like like moving my shoulders a little bit. But that was really fun.
Where did you party?
We did so my friend had a pre-game at her apartment before we went over to the Dyke March. But then afterwards, which we didn't have this planned, Britt really got the zoomies and was like, "I want to go to the party that's happening at House of Yes." But she had a show to go to. I am not kidding you. Went and waited by myself in line outside of House of Yes to get like door tickets because it was sold out. But they weren't selling them until 10 p.m. So I literally just stood there until they were ready. Yeah, I'm like, "You can't just sell them to me right now." And I stood there. And got tickets because I'm a good boy. Because I'm a good boy. I'm a good boyfriend.
That is a good
and then we went and we danced a little bit.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. We did party, but I'm not a partier, you know. I don't drink, but we did go out and I did dance a little bit. I like to think I can dance, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's just a thought, you know.
I bet you can dance.
I think so.
Now that I think about it, maybe not. I'm looking at you. I'm like, what's your move?
I mean, I just go with the music. You know what I mean? So you know.
I usually break out a twerk because I think it's funny too.
No, I don't. I can't twerk.
I can.
You can twerk?
I've got a big old ass, and it moves.
I cannot. Well, maybe I can. That's not true. I don't want to. I don't want to twerk.
No,
you know
of course, yeah.
But I like to get low. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
I like to get low.
Yeah.
You know.
Like in a limbo way.
No.
Or in like a.
No.
What is this?
I'm less white than that. I feel. You know the limbo. I don't know. It's very Caribbean. I haven't seen a black person limbo personally. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. No one in my family anyway. Actually, my partner can really dance as well.
Oh yeah.
That was what actually made me quite attracted to her. You know.
Oh yeah.
Because she can really dance, and so I believe we're a good dancing couple.
Okay.
But I'll video it and let you know. You can.
You're gonna videotape the two of you dancing.
Yeah, and we're gonna insert it in this moment in the podcast.
Cool. Okay, cool.
So that people can see. Okay.
Well, that's awesome. But Pride is over now.
Yes.
Pride is over. I just want to say, R.I.P. Pride Month. You would have loved Julia Fox coming out as a lesbian.
Oh my god.
Because I love Julia Fox coming out as a lesbian.
I've never been more excited in my life.
Wait, you have been, and it's when SZA was talking about wearing a strap on.
You're right. I get this excited every day for anyone that is like, I'm a lesbian. Yeah. Here's a strap.
Yeah.
It's
There's
iconic.
a lot of strap talk this summer.
There's a lot of strap talk
from like people you wouldn't expect it from, which I guess is a blind spot for me, assigning strap talk to people when I shouldn't be.
100%. And a lot of like people carrying their straps around in their bags.
You're seeing this?
I hear this.
Oh, yeah.
I just said here. Did you hear that?
No.
I just slid right into
I told
American.
you that I have a speech impediment with R's, and now you're saying your R's weird.
I just got American real quick. I was like, here. I heard that. It was wild.
We should do a reverse episode one time where speak
Can
in
you
a
do
British accent. Well, now that I'm on the I do at home. I do like a New Zealand Australian a lot at home.
When I hear you do it, when I've heard you do it, it's like Australian, New Zealand, British, and a little problematic. Just 2%.
Well, the problematic one was a specific alliteration that was really hard. But nor.
Did you just say nor?
Nor.
That's a little bit of Irish, I think.
That's Nor is Australian.
What is the word?
No. They put an R at it. It's like N-A-U-R. Nor.
No.
Nor.
No.
Yes, that's Australian.
That is not Australian.
Yes, it is. Ask anybody.
Oh my god. If any Australians listening, please confirm this. No, that's Australian. No, that's Australian.
Okay.
Nor.
Well, you're doing Australian with a British accent.
Yeah, we'll work on it for next time.
All right. Well,
okay.
We have a game. You and I, we like to we keep up with the news. We kind of have to with our jobs, and also just like as trans and queer people, we want to know what's going on. Totally. But we consume kind of different news, and so what we're gonna do is we want to decide who's been a good boy and who's been a bad boy, and we might agree, we might disagree. And we've got our nifty little signs.
Oh yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read out some headlines that we've seen over the week, and decide if someone's a good boy or a bad boy. And it does have implications.
What are the implications?
I'm like, I don't know. We say someone's a bad boy and they like get like a door drops below them wherever they are in that moment, and they like drop to hell or something.
Yeah.
So here's headline number 1.
Okay.
Killing it. Kendrick Lamar, not like us, boosts Tam's Burgers business by 40%.
Here's the thing. Yeah,
Good
here's the
boy.
thing. Good boy. Anything Kendrick.
Anything Kendrick, yeah.
You know, I love Drake, but good boy.
Yeah, there's some things Kendrick, bad boy.
There is? Let's go.
Like, I think he hit his wife.
Well, did he?
I don't know. I said I think.
I don't know. It's alleged.
Okay.
And this is why I'm obsessed, because it's alleged, and in the music video she seems to she seems to say that isn't true, but okay, who knows. Anyway, it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with
it.
it. I'm obsessed with the song. I'm obsessed with everything. Less even about the beef. It's like, okay, but it's a beautiful piece of music and a beautiful piece of content.
Yeah, I think so too. I loved it. And also, so specifically this headline is that him having his music video in Compton and doing his hometown stuff. Also, I saw like some of the leather that was worn by maybe him and other people was like a local shop as well.
Totally.
So like, make it big, support local, good boy.
Good boy.
And
Well
dunk
done,
on
Hannah.
Drake in the process.
And dunk on Drake.
Next one up. John Corbett shares career regrets. He says it's been unfulfilling and that he picked the wrong fucking thing to do with his life. Bad boy.
I'm devastated.
I'm devastated. I mean, like, whatever he needs to do, but like, that's my man's. And if he wasn't an actor and didn't have a career in Hollywood, like truly so many of his characters like taught me to be a good boy, because he's always like the good husband and good boyfriend.
This is my guy, Aiden, Sex and the City.
And
right?
this is me coming out as pro Aiden.
Well, I just feel sad about it from an acting perspective.
Oh yeah, because you're an actor.
Well, like the amount of actors that would just die to be doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I get it. If you don't like it, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like his roles are pretty meaty.
He gets to be like the sexy, hunky, tall, 6'4" guy.
100%. And if I got to just hang out, never mind, you know, walk down the street and hold hands with Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, you're into that?
Oh my God.
Me too.
He's unreal.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I love Sex and the City, and my femme, like, so on the Upper East Side, femme girlfriend who, like, Sex and the City was made for has never seen it. And I got to show her last night, because I'm rewatching it, I got to show her the episode where Carrie farts in front of Big. It's so funny, and she was hooked.
Just from that, you started there though?
Well, because that's episode 11 of season 1, so it's
Okay,
pretty.
okay.
But like, she doesn't watch it with me, so it's like my thing that I can watch without her around.
Totally.
Anyway,
also episode 1's very bad. I mean, the pilot episode is like
the pilot's fantastic.
What?
Oh,
You mean the
all
whole
talking
like
heads
boom
Yes.
into the camera?
I love
You
it.
love it?
Yeah. I forget when
I
they
can
stopped
barely
doing breaking the fourth wall.
I feel like it's like episode 3 or something.
No, she does it in this episode. She turns to
No
the camera
way.
and she goes, "I was mortified."
And you like that?
It's so good. Okay.
So, okay, next headline. Okay. Scientists unveil implant for prisoners to show them memories from their victim's perspective.
Okay, so here's the
come on.
thing. I think the concept of like being able to show a bad boy, the bad things that he's done is like, sure, that's good for empathy, but I don't believe in prison tech and giving more money to prison tech, because I'm an abolitionist and I don't believe in the prison system.
Totally. Yes, and?
Yeah, so I'm flipping.
You're flipping. Okay. I feel like, I mean, you say not giving to prison tech, but like, what are the, where is the prison tech? There's none. We have such traditional systems of basically just throwing everybody in jail and keeping them there.
Have you seen Orange is the New Black?
That documentary?
They have like, no, but there's like tech conventions for like the security and the different weaponry. Like it's an industrial, the prison industrial complex is an entire industry.
Sure, but I feel like this thing, if it works well, right? Yeah. We have the capacity potentially to keep people out of prison, which is what I would like, you know?
Okay, that's a really good angle.
And if we're sure that they've done something that they need, and I think this
How
idea.
Are they getting the memories?
Yeah, I don't know.
Harry Potter ass shit.
Yeah. Look, it could be fucking damaging.
This is the problem when we only have the headline and we haven't read
exactly. This is what people do. This is what some people do to auto straddle sometimes. Yeah. On social, they read the headline and they didn't read the thing.
But also the thing is, like, for me, for like factually speaking, scientifically speaking, some like if this is like say they do this to a serial killer who is like a diagnosed sociopath and cannot experience empathy.
Totally.
I don't think this is gonna work on them.
I agree.
Because they chemically cannot.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious if it's like, I don't know, also like with the law enforcement issues that we have and the prison issues that we have, it's like, what are you gonna do? Like have a 16-year-old kid show him he stole from a bodega and you're like, oh, look at the bodega owner and he lost $6 today.
100%. But then that specific example I feel passionate about, because also why is the kid stealing from the bodega? Like exactly. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, let's help. I mean, there's so many layers of stuff that we should support in before we get to prison. But my thing is, let's say in a perfect world, we've supported everybody through healthcare and education and eating food
Yeah.
and having the just necessity resources,
Yeah.
then yeah, if you do something wrong, I think it's a really good tool. You know, I read a similar thing around this tool being used for racism in corporate entities, and it's like, can we help people understand and be empathetic about another person's experience with tech? And I think that we maybe are getting there, but it's scary because plugging stuff into brains and stuff, it's not.
Well, you know what? I just thought of a cool use case for this. Put this little helmet or whatever. I'm assuming it's a helmet. Put
This
it
is
on.
why you're not doing this.
Put it on cops' heads and let them experience the unhoused folks and the folks that they're fucking around with.
Motti,
That's a
this
good.
is for you.
That's a good. Thank you.
This is for you.
Thank you.
This is for you.
See, that's how to use
Unreal.
the technology. Add that into
Absolutely.
their 6-week fucking training.
100%. Any of my investors listening, invest in Motti's idea. It's important.
I thought you were gonna say something else. Don't listen about it.
No, invest in Motti. Okay,
Okay, great.
I love that.
Next headline.
Yep.
Is the lesbian community really suffering from a mask shortage?
Wait, so who we?
I think so. Let's say so. We're judging the people who are claiming there's a mask shortage. I think, right?
Great. Okay.
Okay. That's so exciting when we agree. Okay, what's
Why-
yours? Oh,
Okay. I don't think there is a mask shortage.
I don't think so either. I know exactly what it is.
Go.
I think it's cis lesbians getting angry and presuming that because there's more trans mask folks who do identify as trans, not just like trans mask, because you can be like, I don't know, there's still some cis lesbians that identify as trans mask, but I think it's cis lesbians assuming that the increase in trans men coming out means that, which is like the TERF ideology, that like if there's more trans men, there's less mask cis lesbians.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
And so they're not. Are you saying that they're not saying that there's a mask shortage? There's just more.
I think it's people kind of being like, all the masked lesbians are transitioning and there's no more for us, because I've heard cis lesbians say this into a microphone.
Got it.
And so I'm like, I think that's what the fear is that they're like, they're taking all of our masks.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider this at all.
Yeah,
and
like-
this isn't even how I interpreted the mask shortage in general.
Yeah.
I just-
Well, this is me assuming,
Got it.
using things that I've witnessed and like talking points I've heard from like turfy cis lesbians.
Got it.
Of like, oh yeah, there's no more masked cis lesbians because they're all transitioning and they're all on
Got it.
T now.
Got it.
And they don't want that. What's your
Understood.
interpretation?
I literally thought it was people saying that there was not enough single
Yeah.
masculine presenting queer folks.
Yeah. Well, so that is, and I'm saying that I think they think that because of the
Okay, got
increase
it.
in transitioning folks.
Well, I thought it was. I thought there's. By the way, we're everywhere at all times, so I was like, that's not
Yeah.
true. And then when I thought, why is that? I was like, is it because we're only focused on a certain type?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Of
Like, I don't
mask-
think
right.
they're thinking of you.
No.
When they're saying mask, they're not thinking of us as mask. Like,
Right.
they're thinking of like a mask, cis, still feminine present,
Interesting.
but like mask. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that they were only talking about like the white beautiful
Oh, and I'm sure
shiny
they
type,
are.
Yeah. And I was like, we're everywhere in
Yeah.
lots of different
Well,
types.
there's no studs shortage.
Straight up. Straight up. Into the camera.
And God bless.
Straight up.
And
God
bless the studs and stems.
Okay, next one. Here we go. You might be aware of this one. We spoke up for Palestine and got kicked out of the White House Pride Party. So, of course.
It's about a trans woman rabbi who got invited to the White House Pride Party and wanted to decline it, but was like, actually, let me show up in my ACT UP New York shirt and my like shirt that says that I'm pro-Palestine, and try to send a message.
She's incredibly brave, by the way.
Incredibly brave. I think it's really kick-ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
And they were escorted out.
which is fucked.
The two of them. Yeah.
Were they the only two escorted out?
Yeah, I think they said some people were like left with them, but like it was not like a well received thing.
Yeah.
Like not everything, because you think of some of the people who are there who are probably like well intentioned, but like I'm not gonna go and like hang out with Jill Biden.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I,
did
feel
see
bad
Jill.
you kind of just did that.
I did see Jill.
But you didn't like you went to an
didn't go
event.
for. I just went to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also the monument. I went to see the monument.
Yeah.
And Elton.
And Elton.
Oh, Elton.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
that's
Well,
a
yeah.
good
Good
one.
boys. 100%.
And that's a really cool way to use your privilege and your voice and your power.
Absolutely.
So slay.
Yeah, slay.
Next up, David Tennant doubles down on support for trans people, saying "fuck off and let people be."
Oh, David.
It's a good boy.
The best.
Yeah.
There's not much else to say. We love you, David.
I'm loving the parents, like especially this Pride, but like year-round parents. The thing with Marlon Wayans.
Oh my god.
You
100%.
loved that.
I loved that. Yeah, absolutely. Him, Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
it's really cool.
Really, really cool.
Also, like Megan Fox has a non-binary kid, I'm pretty sure.
No way.
And like Naomi Watts' kid, I think is trans. Like, there's a lot. I think it's like
Right.
weird when we start rounding up like which celebs have trans kids. So I'm not advocating that we like do a huge list of that, but I think when you see it follow just like like the trends of like Gen Z coming out and like
Right.
young millennials coming out and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that applies to like celebrities' families as well, and I think that's really cool.
100%, especially the ones that are being really open about it. I'm
Yeah.
actively supportive.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, obviously everyone does everything on their own time,
Yeah.
but if parents are doing that and being really vocal,
Yeah.
it couldn't be more impactful,
Yeah.
you know?
Jamie Lee Curtis, her kid
Yeah,
is trans,
I
and
didn't know
she's
that.
very loud about it and
100%.
cool in a positive way.
I mean, she's just so cool.
Yeah.
That's the board.
Yeah.
Jamie.
Mhm.
Okay.
You're up.
Here we go. Next up. Giuliani is disbarred in New York as court finds he repeatedly lied about Trump's 2020 election loss.
Bad boy Rudy. Yeah. I mean, it's good that he was disbarred. That's
Totally.
good.
That's a good boy.
That's good boys who whatever lawyers did that.
But he's just a general.
He's a bad boy.
He is.
Yeah.
And not even in a fun way, you know?
Okay. Next one up. Nicola Coughlin helps raise 1.5 million for children in Palestine, which I think the number's closer to 2 million now.
Oh my God.
I'm in love with her.
Say it. Say
I
it
love
proud.
her so much.
Say it proud.
I love that she's Irish.
Yes.
Which of course, like also like by the way, like I don't know, I feel a lot of in addition to gay pride this summer, a lot of Irish pride. You see
yeah,
those
because-
Irish kids?
Well, you can do the accent too, which is
I
important.
cannot do an Irish brogue. I'm really bad at that. I end up doing like Scottish, and that's not even Scottish. But I think it's really awesome. Ireland has obviously a history of standing up against oppressors, so like that's slay. Nicola Coughlin's so hot. Bridgerton, did you watch?
I haven't watched yet because I'm stressed out about it because I kept putting it off and now I have to go right to the beginning.
No, but you don't. Here's what I did. I wanted to watch specifically. They were like Nicola Coughlin's having sex on screen, and I was like in. And so I watched.
You went straight to that episode?
I watched just season 3 from the beginning because that was like her season. Watched season 3, and then I went back and watched season 1, and then I watched 1, 2, 3 again, and then I watched Queen Charlotte.
Okay, so it's not gonna fuck me up.
No, I think start at it. You'll be
great.
a little bit confused, but it'll make it more fun to go back. Anyway, Nicola Coughlin, everything that you
Good
do,
boy.
good boy.
Good boy. Last one. Okay. Why protesters are squirting water at tourists in Barcelona?
Anything with the word squirting will get a good voice from me.
I read it and I was like, this is gay for sure. But then when I clicked through, it wasn't gay, which is sad.
Oh.
It's protesting about short-term rental prices.
Yeah.
I believe.
In Spain.
In Spain.
Yeah.
In Barcelona. What an interesting way to protest.
Yeah.
I got inspired immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, who can we squirt in the face with some water?
Well, I remember like I was participating, I was helping with like voter stuff, whatever. In 2020, I was going to a lot of protests and marches, and when we would go by people who were like dining like outdoors and like ignoring all of the like horrible things happening right in front of their faces, we were fucking with them. We would like, I don't know, like boo them or like whatever. So it feels like that kind of thing. I'm just looking at the picture here. It's like people like drinking white wine in the middle of the day when people are going by like save my house.
Help me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It feels a good balance because it's like not dangerous,
Yeah.
but impactful,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So get out there and squirt, guys.
Go out there and squirt for your rights. Great. Fantastic.
And them's the headlines.
Them's the headlines. Do you want to talk about what you've been watching?
I would love to. Listen, I am so specific and obsessive. I pick everything apart. I can't just watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I pause it every 30 seconds. My girlfriend hates me.
My brother-in-law does that.
Oh, I know it's annoying, but
It's
I just
tough.
I can't stop it because I need to think about the directorial choice and the actor's choice and the story and the like loop backs and just
You have
everything.
too much information to like you're too informed of the production process that like
Totally, yeah.
me I'm like I don't know, the camera looks nice.
Well, given that, okay, so now that I've said all that and I'm so specific, what I'm going to tell everyone is that I watched Dark Matter, which is a TV show on Apple TV, and it was one of the best things I've ever watched.
Tell me about it.
Unbelievable.
Can you give me like 2 sentences?
2 sentences is it's about time theory, and I know your eyes are glazing.
No.
No, it's about time theory.
I saw Interstellar.
Great. It's about time theory, but it's executed in such a unique way. And there's this idea of like every specific choice that we make creates a new reality
Okay.
and a new world.
Yeah.
So it's if you think about something that you made a choice on that was like, which road do I go down? And you couldn't make that decision. Imagine that the other decision was made by another Motti, and that
Okay,
Motti
yeah.
is living out somewhere else.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it and what I got obsessed with was this idea that you make a choice and then because of that choice, your circumstance changes, of course, but also your personality, like everything about you sort of changes. And
Yeah.
so we exist as this like all-encompassing
Yeah.
version of every decision that we make.
Yeah. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of which came before you. I don't know the full thing.
Are we gonna diss Kamala on this podcast? Is Kamala a good
Is
boy or a bad
quoting
boy?
is quoting her? She's a cop. I'm so
Yeah, you sure? She's.
I
Yeah,
don't like any politicians.
100%.
Yeah.
And she doesn't say that much.
Yeah,
As
but
she
when
just-
she says it over.
Yeah, I love Gen Z.
Yeah.
Over and over
I
and
love
over and
Gen
over.
Z.
I love Gen Z. I
Yeah.
love Gen Z.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, so Dark Matter.
Okay, yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. Beautiful concept, fantastic acting. I appreciated the cast. There was no gayness. Now I think about
I
it.
was gonna say, is anyone sexy in it?
Oh yeah, sexy people in it.
Yeah.
But no one's doing gay stuff.
Okay.
Which I think is important for any
Yeah.
TV show.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's still fantastic.
Listen, nothing explicit. No, I'm lying. I was gonna say nothing explicitly gay happens in Bridgerton, but I'm lying because something
It totally does, right? That's what
in
I
season 3. Yeah.
Okay. So what have you been watching? Bridgerton.
Well, but like that's kind of like that was last month. But I've been watching The Boys, which I think I read to you off mic. The Boys is on Amazon Prime Video.
Okay.
And it came out I think in like 2017 or 2018. It's like a satirical. It's like Marvel if it existed in the real world, where like politicians are shitty and stuff. If that makes well, I guess the politicians are kind of shitty in Marvel, but like it's as if put everything like MAGA and everything in with corrupt superheroes.
Okay.
It's really fantastic. And like I don't want to like give anything away. It's the 4th season is like airing right now. I think they're like 4 episodes in. So we've been watching it, and actually we've gone back and watched from season 1 because I like forget everything that happened.
You watched it again? So
Yeah,
it must be pretty good.
It's like really like bloody, like if you have an uneasy stomach, like you can't do it. But it's so good, and so specifically, so a lot. The first 2 seasons happened like before pandemic, before 2020, and so now they're getting it. It's like really, it's very clear that it's like the 2 sides who support the 2 big superheroes, bad superhero, good superhero. It's very much like MAGA liberals kind of thing. And there's a new character on it, Firecracker, and it's played by a lesbian, Valerie Curry, fan of Autostraddle, and hot, by the way.
Fantastic.
But she plays on like the right wing side, and she plays this like transphobic, homophobic, like Trumpy kind of person.
Okay.
But like all in spandex super suit. You know what I mean? Like that kind of
God.
stuff. But it's really good. It's very violent. The writing is fantastic. I love it.
So cool.
Yeah.
I'm also obsessed with, I often get this myself, but like playing like a bad character. I'd love to speak to.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it's probably so disaligned to her values, you know?
Yeah. She's doing a bunch of interviews for it, but
in that same, have you seen Supercell?
No.
So this is like a Netflix show. Shout out to Ratman, who's the creator, UK record producer and director and filmmaker.
Cool.
Very cool superhero type show, all black cast, UK based. I'm not super far in, but like loving it so far.
Okay.
I'm excited about it, but yeah, I think I'm only like 3 episodes in, and also again no gay stuff yet, but we'll get to it. I'm sure. I hope.
You wreck it. I should watch that.
I wreck it. Yeah.
Okay,
100%.
cool. I do know there's also I watched season 3 of The Bear.
I haven't even watched it. Don't shout, but I haven't even watched season 1 of The Bear.
I won't shout at you. That's fine. It's good.
Is it?
Season 3.
I know. There's so many awards. Like everyone, you know, I should have watched it.
Yeah. But I think.
But are you enjoying it?
I didn't like season 3 personally. I think it was beautifully done. If I was watching a Food Network like Anthony Bourdain, Salt and Table, whatever those shows are, like if it was like a Food Network show about chef as a profession, as being a chef as a profession, and like the beauty of working in the restaurant industry and stuff like that, which I did for a decade, like I appreciated that. But in terms of like character development, plot development, nothing.
Interesting.
Yeah. The best episode was the one that Io directed.
Okay.
And it was very emotional and it was beautiful and there was character development. But so season 3 is like all flashback.
Okay.
And all like it's stuff we've seen before. And when people analyze it, they're like, you don't like it, but what you don't realize is it's showing how everybody's having a different experience, while the one central character, Jeremy Allen White's character, is stand still, and you're supposed to feel that because he is stand still. He's not progressing, like that kind of thing, which I could. But I'm like, the first episode of season 3 is like all B-roll of cutting onions and stuff, and I'm like, I can't fucking do this.
Also, I can understand the intellectual interest of that explanation, but if you're a filmmaker and you have to explain the film to an audience, I think that make it into. I love when we're like stretching the boundaries of like, don't assume the audience is stupid. We're not stupid. Like, please, like, make us think. But if people aren't getting it, you know, challenge.
Yeah. And we watched it. We were kind of just like, okay, well, whatever. But I know we both watched The Perfect Wife.
Oh my God.
What did you think? Do you consume a lot of true crime?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my favorite podcast other than this one, obviously, is my favorite favorite murder.
Me too.
Oh my god, unreal.
Yeah.
I wish we could do some sort of
Those
cross
are mommies.
episode. Oh my god, 100%.
I don't know.
Yes, I watched it. I felt terrified.
Yeah.
You know, I've also had a like ex relationship that reminded me like adjacently of it a little bit, like some of the traits of her, which I felt like quite scared about it. But you know what I love and hate in these documentaries when they like drip out, they take you on such a roller coaster ride, you know, and they push you into like feeling a false sense of security, and they like rip you right back, and you know, so like it from that perspective, I was like on a ride. I was like on a real ride. But I mean, it's wild, no?
The last couple documentaries and docuseries that we've watched, like true crime ones, what I've noticed, and maybe they've always done this, but I'm like new to watching them, they do such a fantastic job with the like talking heads, like with like all the like survivors and like friends and family, where like they must direct them to speak, to tell the story in such a way that they don't reveal, like you're watching it the whole time and you're watching the sister and the best friend talk and you're like, they're still waiting for her and like they love her and whatever, but then as soon as we find out that she actually did something wrong, then they're like, and fuck that bit, and I'm like, whoa, this whole time you've been mad at her, but I thought you were like mourning her. Like I don't know, it's really well done, and it must just come down to whoever's producing them. But I thought Perfect Wife was really good. Obviously, for people who don't know, this is like the IRL Gone Girl,
right?
The only thing that I don't like about it is that it kind of like, we kind of, once we realize that she kind of, you know, she quote unquote she quasi cheated, or like she did it to herself, I'm like, that still doesn't kind of make up for the fact that like people were hearing him scream at her, and I'm like, I still think he might be scary. I don't think you kind of just like come to that conclusion to fake your own disappearance. The husband's got to be some kind of bad guy, bad boy. I don't know. Neighbors were like, I hear him screaming at her, and like, but I know she was lying about some stuff.
Well, yeah, you know what it is too. Every piece of content, it pushes us to, and our brains, I think we're just like good and bad. I mean, look, we have it right here.
True. Yeah. In our brains,
in our brains, we're like good boys. But I think, you know, because she's bad, he has to be good, and you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Look, we're all three-dimensional humans. I'm sure that he was not the perfect husband. But I think what they didn't talk about a bunch, I mean, also the Munchausen by proxy was just sprinkled in there at the end with with no
hello.
It just went boom.
She was gas masking them.
I was like, what?
And I'm like, when they were
so that was just sprinkled in, and I don't love when we don't explore mental illness fully.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, okay guys, like it's obviously very damaging. Also, Munchausen by proxy has had this like very sensationalized moment, right, where we're all talking about it, some documentaries, whatever. But it is a mental illness, or at least a result of a mental illness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I think that it's tough with these, although I really enjoyed the documentary and I was like, oh my god, this is wild. It's like we need to at least acknowledge, I think, what's going on. Like that woman probably needs some help, I think, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one.
Wild. Yeah.
That was good. Okay.
Let's talk about transition.
Yeah, let's talk about it. On the Good Boys podcast, we're going to be doing check-ins. I myself this will be my 15th week on testosterone. This is my voice. 15 weeks on testosterone. What about you?
I was going to say this is my voice on, I don't even know how many months on testosterone, but it's such a micro amount.
You're going to do the thing that moms do because you're like over a year, but you're going to be like, you're like 24 months on.
Exactly. I'm like 24 months on a tiny micro bit of tea. But set it up. What how are you thinking about transition? When did you start thinking about transition?
Yeah.
What, you know, talk to me about it.
I got top surgery in January, and I always told myself like I'll figure out that, like, I'll see if top surgery cures the dysphoria stuff. Obviously it didn't. But it helped significantly. But I told myself, like, I'll wait until I heal and I'll see if like this solves the problems. Like, was it really just the chest? Because that was such a big driving force of my gender dysphoria, but like other things were not. Like, I was cool with a bunch of other stuff happening with me. And then I looked into it. I have a trans guy, primary care physician, and he sat with me, did this like whole informed consent presentation, and showed me like what tea will do, what tea won't do, what the effects are. And I thought about it for a long time and decided it was for me. And he was like, okay, so I'll write your prescription. Do you want gel or injections? And I was like, well, what do you think? And he was like, injections. Just because they have, well, everyone has a different experience, but I have a lot of friends right now who were on gel for a long time, like over a year, and then they made the transition to injections, and they're like, what was I doing?
100%.
Which is like, everyone has their journey, so whatever. But yeah,
totally. Okay, yeah, I hear that. By the way, shout out to the fact that you have a trans guy.
He's awesome.
Primary care physician. That's insane.
He's really cool.
Yeah. I do not have that. I'm out here. But you know, I was thinking the other day, I really resonate with this idea of like transition, but transition journey of like never really ending.
Totally.
So I think about like right to the beginning, and I'm like, okay, so I changed my name because that wasn't really, resonating. And then I was like, she, they. And then I was like, well, no, I don't really like the she. And I dropped it to they, them. And then, I mean, I think you were there for my transition to they, he. And then, understanding that. And physically for me, I had this thing for so long where I was like, I just don't need to do anything. I don't need to do top surgery. I don't need to do testosterone. I'm good in my body. Like, there's no problem. But the truth is, I think I was just, scared because I had like such bad chest dysphoria, so much that we built this whole business around creating one product that would work for me, and so then I had top surgery last November, and that was like game changing, to be fair. And then I didn't ever think I'd take testosterone. Then you know what catalyzed it? I found out my testosterone was extremely low for a woman. I'm doing inverted commas. What do you call these in the US?
Air quotes.
Air quotes.
Inverted commas.
Inverted commas.
Okay.
I hope so. So my testosterone was very low for a woman, air quotes. And so it gave me the opportunity just with my primary care physician to go on testosterone, whatever that meant. And the more that I've taken it, the more that it feels so good. Although I've had like up and down moments where, at first I was like, oh my gosh, this is making such a difference. I feel amazing. I feel stronger. My sleep's better. I'm super horny. Like I just felt like charged and like ready to go.
Yeah.
I actually don't feel that as much. Yeah. I don't know if it's just a gel thing or like if I went from super low to like a normal
I think you would
amount.
feel the increase.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm still that. I'm sort of considering maybe taking the injections eventually, but I want to freeze my eggs.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're talking about like freezing the eggs, and then it's a whole bit like we just have as queer people and trans people trying to like think about family is just such a expensive and crazy time.
We'll dedicate a whole episode to it.
100%. We should do that. So anyway, so that's where I'm at. I'm taking tiny bits of testosterone, but for a long time, and I do feel changes, and we can talk about that. And not taking injections yet until I've frozen my eggs. And when I do that, I'm happy to share that as well.
Okay, great. Wow, congrats to us.
Congrats to us
for being on T.
Yeah,
I totally agree. Journey. Also, there's so many reasons why someone's transition would get like. I have friends who like literally their insurance fucks up and they can't get their HRT for a month, or for like an extended amount of time. So it's very much a journey. What?
I was just gonna ask you, do you since you have taken your first shot, do you feel just like change on change on change on change? Like, do you know what I mean? Is there a compounding?
A little bit, but it also just like happens like when I'm not looking. I don't feel like there were things that happened first. Like bottom growth was like the first thing.
Did you the bottom growth, has it settled?
I don't think so. I think I've got a lot more to go. I've got a lot more to grow. I'll be happy to talk about it as it goes on, but like atrophy happened and so I'm not there yet.
Yeah, no, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And speaking of facial hair, were you excited about that? Did you want that?
Yeah, because I used to like do a little mascara mustache.
Cute.
And like fill it in for like special occasion, not like dinner, but like for like a pride party or like a really queer lineup I was on maybe. And so I'd fill it in, and I was always told that I looked really good with a mustache, that I looked like Charlie Swan, which is the dad from Twilight.
Oh my god, hot.
And like Tom Selleck maybe, people said. And just like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, so like maybe it's for me.
Wow.
I'm wondering if I should shave it so that it'll come in thicker, but all my guy friends are telling that like a myth, that like it's not going to come in thicker if I just shave it.
It's just you're just gonna shave it off basically, and it'll grow
and it'll come back, but it'll be stubbly. Yeah, which
great.
For this it just took the existing like really blonde peach fuzz and just like made it darker and longer. Yeah, but I think each time we record, we'll sit down and we'll do tea time.
Yeah,
and I'll go over the like in real time changes that are happening. You will too. Some of them are gonna be good. Some of them are gonna be bad.
Yeah. And also
we'll keep it 100.
We'll keep it 100 and
the full enunciation of.
We'll keep it 100 full stop.
Yes.
No, we'll keep it 100. And we should talk about too the non-medical stuff that we do to feel affirmed.
Totally. Yeah.
Like the other day I got I don't even know what it's called, but it's like microblading on my eyebrows, I guess.
Oh, yeah, your eyebrows look great.
Thanks so much. And basically this woman, she's incredible, but she like helped masculinize my face by like filling in my eyebrows more.
Yeah.
And like giving them a little more structure.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, I think that
tea is making mine fill out more.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
And my brow, I think my brow bone, it's like my bone can't change, but like it's gonna be more defined and like flat across.
Yeah, that's so
eventually.
Cool. So yeah, these other ways that like, without medical resources, either because people can't get them or because they don't want to take them or whatever it is for health reasons.
Yeah.
Like what can we do to like affirm ourselves? And I've been like trying to explore that bunch, so we should talk about that.
Absolutely. That's cool. Microblading the eyebrows.
Yeah. So that's tea time. We're gonna do it every week.
Our shared transition.
We're transitioning
together.
We're transitioning together.
into the ultimate. We just morph into like the ultimate good boy.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And now we're just gonna finish off with some advice.
Yeah, some advice. Okay, so you all have written in to ask Motti and I advice, which we will do our best.
Yeah.
Are you a good advice giver?
I think so.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Let's see.
I think I'm very empathetic and wise.
You certainly
beyond
are
my
that.
years. I'm only 19, so.
Yeah. And I'm 96. Okay. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna read our advice.
Okay.
Question to you. Here we go. I've been living with my girlfriend for about 6 months, and we have been dating for about 2 years. And I don't know if I like them anymore. I remember maybe last month someone wrote about getting the ick for their partner, but this isn't the ick, I don't think. I'm just more annoyed by their presence most of the time. But I'm also very depressed, and I think most people are getting on my nerves more than usual, which I haven't told my girlfriend about because we don't talk about that kind of stuff, which is probably a problem in itself.
That's the problem right there.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the problem, and there's probably so many problems why they don't talk about that. Like, to say I don't talk about that kind of stuff and you're like in a depression. Listen, I get that stuff is hard. I've diagnosed depression. You gotta talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think about the ick thing? Do you believe in the ick?
I do. I've gotten the ick so many times.
Really?
I mean, like, listen, I think we've given a silly name to something that happens, and it's a turn off.
Right.
That has happened in almost in so many things that I've been a part of.
Do you think that, like, don't you think it just means you weren't that attracted to them in the first place?
I don't think so, because I think it's an introduction of a new thing or a new behavior when maybe like I've been in things where like I'm hooking up with someone for a couple weeks, a couple months, and they like do something that I didn't know was part of their personality.
Right.
And I'm like,
that's gross.
Oh, like I was like hooking up with someone, it was like really great, they were really hot, but like our personalities never like meshed, and it was something I was like okay with it. But then they were really rude once, like really rude
to
me. And I was like, wait, what? I'm like, you
like,
talk
no.
to people like that? And that I got the ick, and I ended it.
But like that feels like, I feel like we talk about the ick as like, that feels like clean cut to me. If someone's fucking rude to you or is disrespectful,
well, yeah,
I'm
I
like,
guess
sure.
people get the ick when they like,
It
I don't know,
feels
when
like
someone
these
trips. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like my girlfriend showed me a group chat with all of her to be fair, I should say straight girlfriends. Okay. In a WhatsApp group, and they were like calling out all these icks that they have for guys, and they're like, being an identical twin is an ick. Like,
wait, honestly? No, actually, no. I know it's.
Do you agree?
No, I don't.
Okay, like, and when you're at a restaurant and you like don't say the check, you just like do this.
Totally.
This, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, what do you think about those things?
I think we all do little silly things. Listen, if that's what's gonna make you not want to fuck a person anymore, then like that's your line. I don't like.
Right.
If that's your line, but I do think people started having icks for the sake of having an ick because it was like funny to like discard a guy. I think it's really funny when straight people do it because I'm like, everything you do is icks. Everything you do is so cringy and gross and weird.
100%.
Do better.
100%.
But yeah, I don't know. You're living with you're partnered for 2 years. You're living for 6 months. I don't think that this person never liked this person. I think this person doesn't like living with this person. They probably don't like their cleanliness, or like they're like living together is such a specific thing. And I don't believe this person never liked their partner to begin with. I think that they've learned new things about their life and their personality, and that's what they don't like.
Yeah, and in this case, I would agree with you. And also, I think not being able to speak about your mental health issues or how you're feeling with your partner, ick aside, this is just not,
whether it's because you're not feeling open to, or she hasn't given you the safety and openness to do it. But I think my first piece of advice is talk about the mental health stuff. If that goes south and the girlfriend's not supportive or can't take, I shouldn't say that, no one needs to take care of you, but like has to be supportive and like know that you're cared for. And if that doesn't work, I think you got to move out and break up.
I agree.
Or just live separately. You know, Holland Taylor and Sarah Paulson don't live in the same house.
I did read that. I was like, cool.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know people who have their own bedrooms also. So like maybe just try that out.
Totally. I'd be down with the bedroom thing.
Yeah.
The separate houses, I feel like my girlfriend's house would be this like beautiful oasis, and mine would be a shithole.
Yeah.
So then I would just live there anyway.
Because you're a bad boy. I do think like having separate houses is very much a privileged thing. Like of course Holland Taylor and Sarah Paulson can do that, but not everyone.
Totally. I just said that like I could afford it. I'm like, oh sure, let's try this.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
we'll just buy 2 houses. Thank you for that advice, Motti. You're so wise.
Yeah.
You're so wise for a 19-year-old. Motti's not 19, guys. So.
No, but I have the mustache of a 19-year-old boy. No, it's more like 12. Okay, so I have one that was also written in. Hi, I was dating this really great person for about 3 or 4 months. Last week they ended things because they realized they don't have the capacity to be in a relationship right now mentally and still need to heal from their last relationship. Although I felt really sad about not being together anymore, we've talked about it and I can see that it's probably for the best. I know saying my situationship broke up with me a week ago and and we're trying to be friends already is probably the most lesbian coded sentence on the planet. But I don't have a lot of dating experience, and I'm hoping for some advice on how to genuinely shift things into a friendship when I was really starting to fall for them before we broke up.
Totally.
So this person was in a situationship, it didn't work out, they kind of were falling harder, and then they broke up and now they want to be friends.
Man, firstly, I feel like the person saying that they are not ready for a relationship is so mature.
Yeah.
I feel like more people should do that, you know, and be so self-aware. So I think that I'd be so grateful that they were honest and said that. I think that that's really awesome. But listen, firstly, I don't know if you are beating yourself up, but don't beat yourself up, because that's really tough.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a little heartbreak in there,
Yeah.
you know? And I don't think that you have to force yourself to be friends straight away.
Yeah.
You know, I think that like
take
take
a
a little bit of
distance.
space. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That would be my advice. Take a little bit of space. Sounds like this is a really respectful person. You get on with them really well.
Yeah, if you want to be friends.
100%.
Yeah.
Take some space. Maybe, you know, go out on a few dates, explore some other stuff so you feel, you know, not too tied to this person, and then refresh, start a friendship.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would do.
That's fantastic advice. If you liked the advice we had for these two folks, you're gonna love what we have moving forward. You can write in.
Yeah. You can DM.
You can DM.
You can DM
the For Them account. Yeah.
Or the Auto Shell account, actually.
Yeah.
And just say that it's for Good Boys. And we'd love to hear your questions.
Yep. And I think I want to extend that offer to tea time. Like if you're
Totally.
also someone who's considering tea and you have questions or that you want to ask a non-medical person, write on in.
Yeah, and actually we have a guest that is also transitioning. It's good to have lots of different opinions and experiences on this coming up. So write them in for that guest, and we can give you a 3 experienced answer.
3 experience answer.
A threesome. I'm just making up terms. A 3-way.
On this leather couch. But that's Good Boys. That's what this podcast is going to be. If you want to hear more about it, you can like and subscribe. You can, I think, follow a podcast, and you can rate it, and you can like it.
Do those things.
Do all of those things, and check back in.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Be a good boy.
Good boy, Kylo.
Good boy, Motti.